Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We are jumping back into our game with Late Age Mictlan. For those of you who saw the very first release of this video, apparently I had the wrong audio track, so I'm going back and re-recording it. So without further ado, let's get into the game. We have a message from Man. Greetings, Mictlan. We appreciate your information regarding Utgard entering the waters. That means that the level 2 throne at 69 will fall to him soon. With just the throne of Pantocrator left, the large giant army at Mossflowers 123 appear to have stayed there and not returned to the central provinces. I reiterate your warning to Pythium. Utgard has a small army inside Midgard's cap circle. Based on your intelligence, I suspect that Utgard and Midgard may come to terms this turn, and that that army will take to the water. Midgard will then return his army to my border and will make it difficult for my forces to retask in time to fight at Drake's Rest, the Wardens of Avalon. Okay. So I was worried about Utgard running across the ocean and taking Pythium's throne. Because if he could just get, 60 Gamherdings across, he might be able to take it. And that is something that he could do. A message from Midgard. Midgard falls, but only by the combined conspiracies and treacheries of Ulm slaves, formerly known as Avalon, Utgard, our ancient foes, and their starving dogs, Pythium. It should be no surprise that it would work, that it would take so much to bring down the mighty, manly Vikings. We feel no shame. This is our most glorious moment. We fight you, our enemies, to the bitter end. We must choose to serve, and then we serves them what... Okay, that's all I'm reading. When it starts getting heavy Viking, I'm going to give up. Bloodmen, we have dire news. With the exception of a few craven cowards, our entire army has met their glorious deaths fighting Utgard. Utgard will be at our gates the next month. They're bent on the destruction of Midgard. Is day of Ragnarok foretold in ancient prophecy? We need more carefully coordinate raids with you. We hope you attacks Utgard and not be at peace, but we want you to knows that the destruction of Ulm is still our greatest desire. Midgard's doom is what no one else can stop. Is what no one can stop. We can see you siege Ulm castles. To hurry this process, you can use magic to crumble the wall, or we can use magic to crumble the walls more quickly, so the siege may be over. We wish to take Kosnograd, but it may be your armies have already been sent. We wish to see... Okay, that's all he's getting. He can't kill Utgard's armies in an open battle. They're using rigor mortis relief. I think I asked him what Utgard's using. They're using rigor mortis relief, howl, and grip of winter. None of this I'm going to care about. And that... Not that the message I don't care about, but I'm going to kill all of Utgard's army if I ever fight him, probably in 3 or 4 turns. Message from Midgard. So Utgard is again asking passage to go to these islands. Regarding Midgard Islands, those are all good points. I only had intended to take it with a thug and then move on to raid Midgard elsewhere. The main idea was to jam up his logistics for sailing-based attacks on the throne. In any case, however, I've spotted his main army, and it seems he decided to move overland to my south instead of to my north, so the issue is moot. How does the vampire suppression campaign go? So there's that. We have a bunch of blood hunting going on here. And then we have a few battles, so let's check them out. We have a battle with Utgard and Midgard. Let's see if this is significant. Just an Utgard thug. Okay, so a bunch of vampires are coming out. This is on top of Ulm's capital, and he's going to send some shadow blasts at me, which is something vampires can do pretty well. Hits some of our guys, paralyzes them, but they don't really care. Okay, so that was a shadow blast and run. Let's take a look, see how many gems they put. I think probably just put 1 gem. Yeah. So for 4 death gems and 4 mage turns, he bought the death of 1 jaguar. He could have potentially killed a turkey, in which case it may have been worth it. We have a battle here between Satis and Pangaea. Okay, we have a pretty good battle. Let's take a look at what we have. We have Empoisoners. We have a skeleton front line. We have the Falchineers. And a small mage corps. Not too significant. On this side, it looks like just PD. Yeah, okay. It's just PD. So we'll just watch the battle. Hopefully, we're always wishing for maximum attrition on both sides. And actually, I just remembered I don't have my headphones on. Let me pause it. Okay, and I'm unpausing it. Here we go. And yeah, it's basically a massacre. This is why PD is not always great. That is a ton of PD. It's probably 40 PD at least, and it causes the loss of like a little bit of undead chaff, and then 130 gold worth of stuff. But this is probably 400 or 500 gold of PD. And then coming down, we have a battle with Man and Midgard. Okay. What does he have going on here? Protection. Vampire. Okay, so this is not how you want to script this, by the way. Okay, let's look at these Tower Guard. They've got pretty good protection. They have a shield, which is nice. And they have crossbows. They do not have poison resistance. So what Mossbody is going to do is as soon as this lady gets hit, she's going to explode and poison everybody around her. Which, if otherwise somehow man were to pull off a win here, like they were going to win the fight, then, yeah, it would kill everybody as they retreat or as the battle ends. So you definitely don't want a Mossbody in the middle of a bunch of non-poison immune human troops. Okay, next is, these guys' protection is okay, but it's not great. What you want to do is probably put a nature gem on them and then have this lady cast Wooden Warriors. I assume man has that by this point in time. Wooden Warriors is nature 2, if I recall. And you should be able to hit everybody with 1 or 2 castings. And that would be pretty good. And then on top of that, they could use the rest of their scripts for maybe quickness or something like that. Quickness, I think, is AoE 1, and so getting a few of these guys quickened might be okay. If these guys are on fire, you don't have to worry about them getting out of position. Next, we're looking at this guy. This is a warrior mage who he has kitted up to be a thug. And he has fire shield and this and this. Now, again, this positioning is pretty bad. The idea is good, right? Ideally, okay, he did misform too. Oh, wait, did somebody over here do misform? Wait, these guys did misform. Again, when you're using these budget thugs, you need to put gems on them so they can cast spells that are out of their reach. So Fire 1, you can do Fire Shield, but this guy needs to cast misform, so he needs an air gem. And where you want him is probably right here, right where that vampire is. So you put him here, and then you make him sit there for 5 turns. And what will happen is they'll all kind of crowd up around him and hit, and your guys will be hitting them back. But he won't get completely surrounded. And that would actually be pretty good. Maybe if he was right here, that might be okay. Mistform is going to be super key here, though. Because this is not... Like, this guy's just going to die to these. I mean, look how killy these guys are. Look at that. Like... Vine Shield and 16 protection, 18 protection is not going to save you. But if you got in range for Wooden Warriors, and Wooden Warriors goes on him, and in addition, you know, he's not getting completely surrounded, he actually probably could do it. I think this is a fight, actually, that man has a chance at winning. I don't know what's on these vans back here. Maybe the vans would kill him. But he has a decent shot of routing the army. And, okay, Skin Shifters, I mean, he's probably going to lose. But he could do some damage. This is not how you want to script it. So these are interesting little things about Dominions, is to really play it well. Like, there's little things, like you bring the right units to a fight. Can you do, like, a budget defense? So this would be, like, a very budget defense. And he kind of... you could say he brought the right units. Now, these guys' protection is going to basically jump by 5. So it's going to be 18. That's not going to be really enough to survive all of this. But if this guy was in front, kind of breaking the wall, they would have a better chance. But it's still not looking good. Maybe, actually, I think you do Wooden Warriors quickness a few times till you think you're out of fatigue, and then you put 1 nature gem, and right before she goes to sleep, you cast Swarm. And that would, I think, be the most budget defense you could do. Now, I don't think you're going to win with that, but it would be close. But here, look, he just got hit for 8 damage. He's only got 15. He's in trouble. Now, the problem with Mist Form here is they do have magic weapons on their Bless, so it may not have been a great use of an air gem. But at least getting him in range of that Wooden Warriors would have made a big difference. So, anyway, that battle was a loss for man. And, yeah, they hardly killed anything. So, not good. Some bad events, not surprising since everybody took Misfortune. Dominion decreases worldwide, fine for me. And then a bunch of patrolling. So the big thing is, how are we doing on breaking down Ulms Fort? The walls are severely damaged, but more time is required to break them down completely. Okay, so we're going to be doing a few things. We're moving Chris Lighthawk in. And we've got him kitted up where he can deal with a good number of threats. If he gets attacked or something randomly in a fight, he also has a second form he'll change to. Which... Oh, he had some gear that I just accidentally deleted, but this turn I've already submitted. It's in the past. So it doesn't matter, but he had, Oh, maybe it put those on him. Okay, yeah, this is what he had. So it didn't delete it. Yeah, so he's coming in. He can do a bunch of things right now. He's scripted Power of the Spheres and Fog Warriors. And, yeah, that will make this group very, very Killian strong. Yeah, so he's coming in, and I think we will have all the tools we need to successfully beat Ulm next turn, since we should break down the fort. Normally when you see... the walls are severely damaged. That means a lot of damage was done to them. But more time is required to break them down completely. We should be able to break it down next time. That's my assumption. We've got a ton of siege strength in this army. 450. And we've been sitting on here for a while. I don't know how much siege defense he has, but there's a very good chance we break it next turn. And I think that's about it. Let's go check on what we're... one thing we're starting to kind of use, and we haven't been using it to great effect so far, is the steel ovens. So we're making things like thistle maces here. We're eventually going to be making cornucopias here. And that will just guarantee that we're able to spam out mass protection everywhere. And, yeah. This guy, what are we empowering him in? Okay, this guy we're empowering in death. And my thinking here is we actually have a challenge. I've got a bunch of Ozelotls, but I don't have undead leadership on my Bless, and these guys don't have much undead leadership, just 10. A lot of my guys don't. So there's a few ways around it. Getting Mount Kings is one of the easier ways. If I get down to blood magic, I can get break into death that way. But the game is very likely going to end around turn 40, and I'm really just not going to have time to get deep into blood magic. I need to get to blood 6 for blood to break me into death. If I already have death, I can potentially get in it with 5, but yeah, it's going to be slow going, and I need good logistics to move my Ozelotls around, and I don't want to have to start doing crazy things like moving my guys who need to be summoning them. So that's anyway what we're going to do. But if we look at it too, we're getting a fair amount of Jaguar Fiends. Each of these is 3, so we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castings a turn, so that's 15. So that's not bad. 15 very, very killy sacreds a turn. Yeah, I think that's about it for this turn. So let's do outgoing diplomacy. We send a message to Ulm. Your wicked deeds have not been fully punished. Prepare the last of your wicked thralls for a final combat. We will make a tapestry painted of blood for future generations to learn from your wickedness and miscalculation. Upon breaching your citadel, we will throw the vampires out of their coffins and let them bathe in the fiery light of the sun god. I'm sending this to him because my expectation is the turn he gets it, I will also crack the fort, and then we can storm it. We send a message to Man. Utgard has moved his army away from threatening Pythium's throne. Oh, we need to look at this. So we appear to be safe from that threat. I also realized that Satis has many thrones, level 2 in his dominion. His war with Pangaea seems to be going in his favor too. Do you control 37? I realize now that I have affected vengeance on Ulm, though I have no thrones anywhere in my land. So my only chance at victory is the horror taking others' thrones before they take mine. So, and that's true. I have, and we kind of need to talk. I mean, the decision to go on Ulm is one, I can't trust him, and I have very slow map movement for a lot of my stuff. So going on him makes sense just in the sense of I'm not going to get backstabbed when I go after somebody else. Utgard at the time was looking stronger than Ulm too, and Ulm had a big army. Utgard was probably going to get sucked into another war. Like, he was fighting Midgard up here for this throne. Ulm was going to have a big army and was very likely to backstab me. So I can't trust him since he completely broke his nap. Attacking Man wouldn't do much for me. I could have attacked Pan, but Pan makes a lot more sense to attack after I have Ulm's land. So, and plus, you just need to kill LA Ulm in any game. Maybe less so in a game that only goes to turn 40, but I've taken Ulm. It gives me proximity to a few thrones, like to these 3, which before I didn't really have proximity to any thrones except this one down here. So that gives me options. I can decide maybe to attack Midgard, maybe start getting a bigger aquatic army, and there's not too much defending this potentially. I don't know. We'll find out, but those are all ideas. Another message to Man. Also, since Utgard may be figuring his throne victory, do you know which throne 31 is? And let's go to 31. 31's right here. So, Midgard has 2 thrones. They have a level 1 and a level 2 throne. Right here, the inner throne and the throne of bones. And I'm wanting to know which one both of these are. Part of it is, Man has a big army here. He may be making a play for this throne. I don't know. But without asking him which throne this one is, I'm asking him which one this one is. And by asking him this one, it will indirectly reveal which one this is. And the reason, I think Man has... Do they have spies in this? I think they do. Though I could be misremembering. Yeah, they have spies. So, I'm assuming that Man knows which thrones are which due to having spies. So I'm asking him which one this is, and hopefully he will tell me then which one this is. Anyway. Also, this army has started to retreat, so it is not going to hang tight up here, which is nice. Message to Utgard. We hear that you won a great victory against Midgard. We will kick them out of the water in a couple turns. And then a message to Midgard. We're sorry to hear of the loss of so many brave Vikings. We shall break through Ulm's forts. The turn you get this, so no need for Crumble, which is the earth spell to break down the walls. We will raid his vaults and throw his vampire caskets out into the light for their bodies to burn. You can consider vengeance done when all his vampires are burnt and thralls put to the sword. We need to consider what to do next, since conquering Ulm painted his land red in blood of the wicked, but did nothing to give us thrones. What would you do if you were us? And then I say, if we were you, we would find a way to pick at his large army that we can't kill while raiding everywhere. Wait, what the hell am I saying? Okay, so I say, this is a message to Midgard. I'm saying, and this is in regards to Utgard's large army. I would say, if we were you, we would find ways to pick at his large army that we can't kill while raiding elsewhere, his army where his army isn't, and kill his scrotty with properly kitted jarls. So, that was some advice to Midgard for fighting Utgard. That's one thing I do some is, I don't know, if I see somebody struggling in a war and I think, and it's kind of in my interest that they win, or they don't lose horribly, then I try to make sure to just, if I have any thoughts, just to give advice, because it's kind of in both of our interests that Midgard doesn't crumble immediately. But anyway, I think that's it. So far, things are kind of going okay. We're developing, you can kind of see it here, we're developing some real strength over here, which we can use as we get closer to turn 30, to turn 40. And there's not much Ulm is going to do to stop us, I don't think. But we'll see. So anyway, I hope you guys are excited. And, the other thing, and I can say this because we have been, this recording's out of sequence. I had to go back and re-record because of the audio issues. But I'm going to be doing one episode a day for this series until it ends. Because we've gotten pretty far in the real game. And, we're basically going to be doing one episode a day until it ends. So, stay tuned. It's going to be like a blitzkrieg of LA Mictlan. See you guys.